again, have a couple pieces of tape ready for you. I highly recommend some calm accepting cream. Do you guys have that available here? Bring this with you every single time. And you're gonna put, am I okay? Can I put some on you? Okay.
It's like, get it on.
Yeah. You're gonna want to put a couple finger lengths of this right below the knee where the bandage is gonna rest, and it kind of acts as a little bit of a grip tape to help the bandage stay up. That's one of the little tips that I'll give you guys. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this as if this is the real deal. So just a couple finger lengths below the knee with this. You can hold up. There you go.
The joggers, they don't
Yeah.
to go
Oh,
up.
I know. Man, nice smooth legs there. Woo. Love that. Okay, so we have 4 different SKUs or sizes. If you remember, we talked about it last time. Based on the patient's ankle circumference, you choose the kit that fits with that. For example, with the one that I'm going to demonstrate today, this top right corner of every box shows you what ankle circumference is indicated for the kit. So this is for 25 centimeters or less, and then we have a large kit for 25 centimeters or higher. Typically, most patients you're wrapping are going to be more than 25 centimeters, so usually you mostly use a large kit. And the reason it's important is because the indicators are placed different in the wrap between the regular size and the large size. And that is so that you get the right amount of overlap. So we're just going to run through this like we would have some kind of a tape measure, and then you're just going to measure right above the malleoli, kind of at the skinniest part. She's coming in at 20 centimeters, so obviously we're going to put our regular size on. I also recommend when you guys first start with this, have them in the light. The light is 20 millimeters of mercury compression. The reason I say that is because they've never had 24/7 compression like this because it has a short and a long stretch. So getting them used to it is probably going to be a smart move. So that's my recommendation. Now for our regular kit, these indicators are placed more towards the top of the bandage. You want those circles facing closer to the patient's head. You don't want them facing away. So go ahead and you just your foot here. Toes to nose is the cue that we want. And we're gonna go ahead and start by going 2 times around the base of the foot to lock this in place. And you can start right away turning those ovals to circles so that you have the right amount of stretch. Then you're gonna come 1 time around the midfoot. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come for our figure of 8. So you're gonna go low on the heel without fully covering it. And then we're gonna come back around and fully cover the heel every time. Now from here, we're just gonna work up the patient's leg, and this is where it's pretty easy. You just, again, stretch these ovals, those indicators, to circles, and you're just going to cover the bottom of the circle as you spiral up the patient's leg. And again, what this is doing, based on her ankle circumference in the kit that we opened, this is forcing me to do a half overlap, which is the proper amount of overlap based on her leg circumference.
Will you not stretch it like you should and just show them what it looks like? If it's not like turned into a circle?
Yeah, so here's oval, circle, oval, circle, oval, circle.
Perfect.
Come on, in front of the camera. Really? You can't be having that.
I'm sending this to all your company too.
Oh my gosh. So again, this is really nice. It takes all the guesswork out for you. You just follow this indicator system and you're gonna hit the correct amount of compression every single time. Now, as we get closer to the patient's knee, we like to go 2 finger lengths below the crease of the knee. One of the things that I've seen with the clinics I've done trials with this, it is not a bad idea to do a cupping effect, if you will, on the patient's calf. So up the medial side, you come just a little bit higher, and then as you finish across the patient's anterior aspect of their knee, slightly angle it down, and it's going to create a bit of a cupping effect to help that wrap stay up more. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And we can kind of walk through this. So since I've used most of it, I can just hold that there. So take your tape, that first layer there, and again, this first layer is our short stretch component. So this is going to give 80% of your compression. This is your high working pressure component, so it's active. So we're all good here. Now we're just going to move on to our long stretch elastic component. Same exact thing. Those indicators are placed in this long stretch elastic component for you, those ovals and circles. So once again, you're going to want those facing closer to the patient's nose as your visual cue. Start at the base of the toes, just like we did. Leave a little bit of a cuff fluff, a little bit of that white showing. Same thing, 2 times around. We're going to come, pull those toes to your nose. There you go. 1 around the midfoot. Now we're going to lock our ankle in place, figure of 8. So come low on the heel without fully covering it. And we come back around, fully cover the heel. And then from here again, we're gravy. We're just working up the patient's leg, stretching these ovals to circles, and just covering the circle with the bottom of the bandage as we wrap up. Now this long stretch component, you'll notice it's pretty easy to get those ovals to circle, so it really doesn't take a whole lot of stretch. If you start getting a beach ball look like this, you're probably a little overstretched.
Will that make it tighter?
Yeah, it's going to make it a little bit tighter, and you might, slightly over tighten for the patient. So again, really easy. Another thing too, it's going to have a little bit of a different feel than most of the 2 layers you're used to working with. So it's not a bad idea to pull out a couple circles worth that you can see just to help you lay down easier, if that makes sense, while you're learning it. Once you get a feel for it, you can rock and roll however you guys like to do it. Again, you'll notice if you look at the overlap, it's a nice even half overlap every time because I'm following that visual indicator system. Now again, now that we're getting closer to the top, we're going to come up a little bit higher medially, and then we're going to come across around the back side of the knee and finish with a slight down angle, which is going to again help cup that calf to keep it to keep that wrap up. So this long stretch component is your high resting pressure. So when the patient's just sitting, they're going to get compression. So this is a self-adhesive. So technically you don't need tape. Now I always recommend putting another piece on it, just to help it stay a little more secure. And then from here, just a nice little pat down, just to get everything to adhere together, and that's it right there. So
how's it feel?
Like I have a broken leg.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But it's nice, good.
Yeah.
Your patient's gonna have good ankle mobility.
That's good.
That commesceptin cream is gonna be absolutely critical to help act as a bit of grip tape to keep it up longer. Now again, your wrap's gonna settle because it's 24/7 compression. You're gonna push way more fluid than you ever have out of that patient's leg. So again, for the first couple of weeks, really important to do a couple dressing changes a week. And then once, majority of the fluid is out of the leg, these are indicated for up to a week. So it should stay up better when more fluid is out. So yeah, that's really it. It's pretty simple. Let's let everyone practice. I can be.
It's not sticky.